Hello everyone, and welcome to Knife Craze. Today, on top of the two previous knives I just reviewed, we are going to be reviewing the Striker branded NATO MILITARY stiletto style assisted opening folding knife. Now, the blade steel it uses, it's just a really cheap steel. It has poor edge retention, it has poor sharpening capability. It's just, your poorly heat-treated cheap-ass steel. This is 1045 surgical steel. And while that may sound fancy, trust me, it's absolute garbage. In fact, a lot of, like, see, it won't even get, it gets a little bit of stuff off your nail, but I mean, a lot of the cheap stilettos you're going to find have this cheap steel. Now, it also has a thumb nick in the blade. I don't know why they'd put it there when this is an assisted opening knife, because for one, you can hardly reach it when it's in the handle. And when you do, if the spring was still brand new, I've had this knife for about a year now, if the spring was still brand new, this could very easily pop open, and if your hand's there, cut open your hand, which of course would be bad. So, it is assisted opening. When I first got, and it's jammed. Yeah, this is just a super cheap knife. When I first got it, the assisted opening mechanism was nice and crisp, but over time using it, really using it, by that I mean just opening it for fun. I bought it more of like a collector's piece. Over time it got loose, so I had to tighten this area up, and now, unless you give it a really hard push like I just did, it does not pop open nicely. So yeah, it's just overall a really crap knife, but I wanted to review it, I wanted to get it out of the way. By the way, I got this knife on Amazon.ca for like 14 bucks, which seems pretty fair for a piece of shit knife like this. I'm not even sure if it's on there anymore. In fact, last time I checked, it said they were all sold out. So yeah, wouldn't even bother going and looking for it. It is a liner lock. You got your liner, and that is the liner lock. It's all one piece. There's not a separate liner along here like some of the higher end knives have, but what can you expect? It's all open on the side, which I don't like. The handle scales here are loose. One of these bolsters, hold on. One of these bolsters, where is it? Well, one of the bolsters was loose. There's a pocket clip, which I actually don't like on this knife, because real stiletto knives don't have pocket clips on them. They're fancy looking knives, but this one came with it. But if you are into pocket clips, it is really wide, so you can get over a thick seam. It opens up easily enough, so at least it's a decent pocket clip. Now, there's no lanyard hole in the knife or anything. There's none of that tactical stuff to it. It's just your basic old school, replica of a stiletto. Now, if I haven't done this already, I'm going to do it now. The overall length of the blade is essentially 4 inches long, with a cutting area of about 3.5 inches long. And it does have a thumb nick there, which is about 3/4 of an inch. Overall length with the knife opened. Hold on. Is essentially 8 inches long. So it's your, standard sized knife. Honestly, that's a pretty standard length for, your medium sized folders. Nothing fancy really. So yeah. Anyway, on to rating. I give this knife 1 out of 10 stars. I mean, you spend money on a product, especially in Canada where, the government decides, hey, let's outlaw switchblades just because they open faster. Don't see why that's a reason to illegalize them altogether. I got this because I wanted a stiletto knife. This is as close as I could get without going outside of the legal boundaries. And then, what did I get? A cheap piece of shit, which I should have thought better when I first got this, but I was just kind of getting into shopping on Amazon and everything looked super good, so, I was kind of reckless back then, and I got this. I should have thought better, but really, for 14 bucks, I've gotten a better M-Tech knife. And this one, I get a cheap steel with a poor opening mechanism, loose parts, and a terrible grind. This knife is absolute crap. Well, there you go, guys. Hope you liked this video. Stay aware when buying stuff off Amazon. Nothing is ever as good as it seems. For example, if you see one of those knives, they're labeled as like Rambo survival knife, and they have like 1-star rating, and they're like $100. Don't buy them. The price doesn't mean anything. It's how well the knife works. For example, I have a buck 110 folding hunter that I paid $60 for. Absolutely amazing. And then here on Amazon, I never bought this knife I'm talking about. I never bought it, but it was labeled as a Rambo tactical machete. It was $100, and all the reviews of it were 1-star. So keep in mind that the more expensive the product doesn't necessarily mean the quality is good. A lot of it are people trying to scam people out of their money. Anyway, guys, there you go. So if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you wish to see more. This is the last of the cheap folding knives, so I'm going to move on to the cheap fixed blades next, and luckily there aren't many of them. So once I get that out of the way, we will start looking at the more expensive, better stuff. So again, thanks guys. Have a great day.